Welcome to the Idaho Business Podcast, the only Idaho podcast focused on providing profits for Idaho people. If you love our state and love small business, you are in the right place. We interview local legends, learn business, and have way too much fun doing it. You're listening to the Idaho Business Podcast with your friend, host, and all-around great guy and owner of New Clean Commercial Cleaning, Spencer Ward.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Idaho Business Podcast. Hope you had a great weekend. Everything's accomplished that you wanted to accomplish. You got to watch ball games, catch up with loved ones, hang out with some friends, and you're totally refreshed for this upcoming week. And if not, try to find that time to get a little R&R in so you don't get crazy. As always, we're sponsored by HealthWest, a great organization, medical organization. They can help you and your loved ones. Give them a Google, see where they're closest located to you throughout Idaho, and give them a shot. Give them a holler. You know, we all go through different seasons in our professional careers. As you're starting your business, I feel like your balance is all off. You're constantly you're in and on, working in and on your business. And I think that's perfectly fair. You're trying to make something succeed. You're trying to make something work. And as you continue to build it and grow it and have more support staff, you're able to come back out of it a little bit, and you're not having to be 100% on, and you find that balance. And that goes for, even the support staff. Like they're working harder and harder. I came across this quote from Steve Narcovi. It says, "People are working harder than ever, but because they lack clarity and vision, they aren't getting very far. They are, in essence, pushing a rope with all of their might." So, after we're done, after we're done working our brains out, and we brought some support staff on, and we're directing these people. Sometimes we direct people how our brains work, and how our brains work on how we tell ourselves or how we motivate ourselves isn't the best way of how to empower or motivate our support staff, our managers, our employees. And I've been thinking a lot about this lately, because we have things we assign out and things we want to get done, and maybe they're not getting done, and you're wondering why. What's going on? Like, I've assigned this out. Like, I've wanted to get this, done. If I'm maybe you're a sales manager and you're trying to get this, how to process a sale correctly, video made. So you have a video made of instructional for instructional purposes, but the person or manager or leader you've assigned this to is not put it as a priority for them to get it done. And this has happened in our businesses before, and it's happening right now with some instructional videos that I want created. And I've been thinking, man, it's been a few months now, and they should have been done at least a month ago. What am I doing wrong now? Because at first I'm like, man, it's these guys, it's them. They're doing it. They're not doing it. And I'm thinking, okay, they're lacking clarity. They're lacking the vision of why this is important to get done. So as a sales manager, you could go to that person and say, listen, aren't you, if this person's maybe in charge of training all the new salespeople, wouldn't it be easier for you before this this potential salesperson that's coming to you to get trained, wouldn't it be easier for you to have them watch a series of these training videos that you've made? Obviously, try not to make them boring, because no one wants to watch some boring video, but give them quick facts and an understanding of why we do key things in the order we do them. So by the time they reach you for the follow-up training, they already have that stuff in their mind and understand why that's important. And then you can cement that home, and then your training takes half as long. And maybe that's not the best example, but helping them find that clarity of like, wow, that will make my job easier in the long run if I just take maybe a couple hours of my day now. Maybe it's inconvenient for me now to do this, but think of all the time savings I'll have later by recording these things one time and then having them here as a foolproof. I'm a huge component of making videos, doing things that happen one time. I'll record my screen. I will talk through it as I'm instructing that person, whoever it may be. I just say, hey, as you are invoicing, as you are running payroll, this is what you do. And I show them on the screen, hey, when this happens, you do this. If this happens, then you do this. The same goes when you're making these videos or whatever you're trying to do that's not getting done. Make it very detailed and descriptive so you understand and they understand that once that person that was that video was made for watches it, it's dummy proof, number one, and there's no reason for them not to understand what you're trying to teach them, number two. So for me, going forward, I'm thinking, okay, how can I give these team members some more clarity, some more vision behind what I'm trying to sign out? Well, we're trying to make these property videos of, hey, some of these facilities we service, people have certain things they like done in a certain manner, or maybe there's a certain thing that needs to be dusted and they look at that in a certain way, or, they all have their different unique things. And we want to get a video made. Obviously we're not videoing anything that's proprietary or that we shouldn't be videoing, but then we can attach those videos to the profile of that location. And then if we bring out employee on that's training with an employee that's already been there before, because that's how we do things. We don't bring people in blind. That new employee can then watch that 3-minute. I said, as we make these videos, they cannot be longer than 3 to 5 minutes. And then we try to keep them at 3 minutes because long videos, people start just conking out. They want to just, turn off their brains and just chill. They don't want to listen. If they see a video that's going to be 10, 15, 20 minutes, no. Keep it 3 to 5 minutes. And that employee will then watch that and see, okay, now I have better understanding how to execute this job better. And that's why we're making these videos. And then our night management isn't getting the calls they're getting. Our trainers aren't having to answer so many different detailed questions because they're watching these detailed videos that took them 3 to 5 minutes to watch. So sometimes I feel like we get stuck in the weeds because we're dealing with these daily, issues that keep coming up in our businesses. Like, oh shoot, we got a complaint here. We got this happening here, this payroll issue here, and they keep coming up. They keep arising. But a simple training montage or video or whatever it may be that you've been trying to get made, you can, and you see the big vision of like, wow, if these were just get made, X, Y, and Z things that happen almost daily or weekly would not be happening as much. But if you're not showing that clarity and giving the vision of that to those people that you're assigning to make that content or make those trainings or whatever you're trying to get them to do, it'll sit on the back burner. Yeah, you can motivate by fear. You can motivate by firing them. But is that really how you want to run your company? Give them the vision, give them the clarity, and then let them go forward and then find those opportunities for them to succeed and do better. And then once they see what they created, making their jobs easier, how much more likely are they going to be willing to take on that next task or assignment from you? As you give clarity and vision, they're going to love it because they're going to think, wow, X, Y, and Z thing I did just a couple months ago made my job easier. This thing I know is going to solve X, Y, and even whatever problem. And it's going to continue to make my job easier. And then I only have to look at these different key indicators to make sure things are working. That's what you need to pay attention to. And that's why we all have to remember to keep with the clarity and vision in our teams. And sometimes I get too busy, or I get too caught up in what I'm doing, and I try to give these fast instructions. And people that are close to me, my managers and stuff, they speak, they make fun of me. They say, "Oh, well, we speak Spencer." And I'm glad that they understand what I'm trying to say, but at the same time, it's like, my gosh, dude, slow it down, be more descriptive, give all the details you need to, and make sure things are getting accomplished how they need to be accomplished. So if you're like that, if you're like me, and sometimes you just say, "Hey, I need this done," and you expect them to ask questions, and sometimes they don't, you need to be able to say, "Okay, this is what I need accomplished. Is there any problems with what I've assigned you? Is there anything that would be holding you up from accomplishing this?" And then walk through those steps with them, and walk through those objections with them if there are those. So I'm hoping these things will help, but keep that big picture in mind, because it helps keep people out of the weeds. It helps you stay out of the weeds, because if we're always worrying and dealing with these small micro problems, it's because we're not keeping the big picture in mind and not working on our business, looking at saying, "Hey, this is how we fix these smaller problems, is by doing X, Y, and Z, or A, B, and C." So as always, guys, go out there, fix some things. It's not business is standard. It's not status quo. Get better. Make your businesses better. Make your performance better. Make your teams better. Performance better. We're in the middle of, we're starting our 90-day reviews for all our employees throughout all of our businesses right now. So it's going to be a couple of weeks of reviews, and I love doing these, because then I get to talk to all my team members and help them with their clarity and vision, and then reward them for their performance, and then they get raises and whatever they do, because we pay off performance. We don't pay off seniority. So great opportunities if you're not doing reviews, to do reviews, because then you really get to sit down and learn. You'll be surprised on how much you get to learn from people that are out in the field doing the work for you every day, and what they see compared to what you don't see. So as always, guys, go out there, be happy, be grateful, and find opportunities to serve others, because sometimes we can just get so into ourselves and so, woe is me sometimes. But if we go out and go help someone else, how much better does it feel? So adios. Have a great week. Keep thinking the big picture. See ya.
Congratulations on spending a couple of minutes getting a little bit smarter, having some fun, and supporting the Idaho business community. If you're feeling the love, make sure to subscribe, rate, and review on iTunes, Stitcher, or wherever you are.